Hello and welcome to Electric Bike Report. My name is Pete and this is the EVELO Delta X in for testing and review. This is a pretty interesting commuter and adventure touring style e-bike because it features a powerful 750 watt Bafang mid-drive motor that then powers back to the Nuvinci N380 continuously variable transmission. You've also got the 48 volt 11.6 amp hour battery on the down tube of the frame there, and the really wide Schwalbe Supermoto X tires. These are almost 3 inches wide. They have a lot of air volume, a nice stable ride feel. And this is a video overview of the Delta X. I'll have the full review for you at electricbikereport.com. So with that, let's check out the details. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the aluminum frame here. This uses hydroformed aluminum tubing to create a pretty interesting look as well as strength where you need it. Say here at the head tube connection point where the top tube and down tube connect in. Top tube has sort of a triangulated look to it, and the down tube has a large square connection. The smooth welds really keep things clean overall. You've also got some internal cable routing in the down tube right there. And then the down tube itself houses the battery pack, and it kind of wraps around the battery. And then down here you've got the mid-drive motor with plates on either side to create a nice clean integrated look there. And then water bottle attachment points on the seat tube. And then you've got this triangulated piece here, a reinforcing tube from the top tube to seat tube. Really just kind of adds some style and obviously strength to the frame. The seat stays and chain stays wrap around these wider balloon style Schwalbe Supermoto X tires. So overall, some nice details for just overall strength and stability, but also some style as well. So on the front of the bike is the Suntour XCM suspension fork, and this has 120 millimeters or about 5 inches of travel, and definitely helps to take off some of the roughness of some of the roads or maybe off-road conditions that you'd be riding on. The left side of the fork has the spring rate preload dial, so you can adjust that for your weight and riding style. On the right side of the fork here is the lockout dial, so if you're riding on pretty smooth roads and you want the most efficient ride, you can lock out the fork, and that's a nice feature there. It's very easy to lock and unlock the fork. And down here is the 15 millimeter through axle, and this provides nice solid lateral side-to-side stability of the front wheel. So one of the unique characteristics of the Delta X, this commuter / adventure touring style e-bike, is that it has a 750 watt mid-drive, and this is a Bafang mid-drive that's housed in the frame. It's got some plates to cover it there and really build in the look of the mid-drive, but then it powers back to the Nuvinci N380 CVT. And what's really interesting is that 750 watts of power here at the cranks with your pedal power is then leveraged through that drivetrain, and that's really a lot of power to climb very steep hills and accelerate very quickly. So very interesting style of commuter / adventure touring bike. And it also has a number of different pedal assist levels as well as the throttle option, which we'll get into in a little bit. And here's a look at the other side of the Bafang 750 watt mid-drive. It's got a plate that covers it there, and same as the other side for just an overall clean integration into the frame. Alright, here's a look at the aluminum Welgo platform pedals. They have a nice large platform and solid grip, as well as the reflectors on the front and back. So as I mentioned before, the motor power and your pedal power is driven back to this Nuvinci N380 CVT, and this is a continuously variable transmission that basically takes the place of your traditional cogs and derailleur system that you find on most bikes. So this is an internally geared rear hub, but instead of having specific gear ratios that you select from, it has just the wide range between the low and the high end. And the nice thing is you can really dial in exactly what gear ratio you want to be in, and I'll show that on the handlebars a little bit later. There's a grip shifter that you just basically adjust like a volume dial to really dial in the gear ratio that you want. And the nice thing with this is that you can shift when you want to. You can be pedaling or not pedaling, so if you come to a stop and you want to shift into a different gear ratio, you can do that without pedaling. In addition, New Vinci claims there's really no maintenance to be done on these hubs, so that's definitely another benefit. So these are just a very clean and very easy to use system. So let's take a closer look at the 48 volt 11.6 amp hour battery pack. This is a nice location for the battery pack on the down tube, because that combined with the mid-drive motor there is just a very low and centered weight distribution, and that really helps with overall bike handling. Now on the battery pack itself, you can see this is the, you push this button, this is a charge indicator on the battery pack, so it shows you how much charge you have. This is a charging port right there, so you can plug in the charger while it's on the bike. You can also remove the battery pack for charging off the bike. Okay, so to remove the battery pack, just unlock it with one of the supplied keys, then push it to the side here like this, pops right off, and that's what the bottom of the pack looks like, and the frame without the battery pack. And then reinstalling it is basically the same in reverse. Just put it into place there, slide it back into place, it locks in, take the key. So here's a look at the battery removed from the bike and the charger. The charger is about the size of a laptop charger, and it takes about 4 to 6 hours to fully charge an empty battery pack. So the Delta X comes with a Tektro Aruga hydraulic disc brakes. These have 180mm rotors both on the front and the back of the bike, and these have the classic hydraulic disc brake feel of really just solid engagement and nice stopping power. And these also have the sensors that will stop the assist when the brake levers are engaged. Alright, so let's take a look at the handlebar. So on the left we've got the EVELO lock-on grip, and these have lock collars that provide a solid attachment of the grip to the handlebar. The Tektro hydraulic disc brake lever, and you can adjust the reach of the brake lever so that it fits your hand with an adjustment screw there. This is the thumb throttle and the control pad, and then you've got the color display right here, and this has a lot of good information front and center on the handlebars. You've got your current time, battery level, your speed here, and the power from the motor. You've got trip distance and more information here, and then this is the pedal assist level. So you can change the pedal assist level with the plus and minus buttons right here. So I'm cycling through up to pedal assist level 5 is the highest, going down to 1 is the lowest, and then 0 is no pedal assist. So in all these pedal assist levels you can also have the thumb throttle, and the thumb throttle can be a boost for the lower assist levels, and then even in the highest assist level you can just stop pedaling if you want to and just use the thumb throttle to motor along. You've also got information here by cycling through with the I button. So the I, you can see that's your odometer right there, and then you've got your max speed, your average speed, your range, and this is estimated range based on the pedal assist level you're in, as well as the current battery level. So when you go down to the lower levels, you can see that the range goes up to, say, 36, 37 miles. So a lot of good information there. You've also got calories burned and trip time, and then back to trip distance. There's also a USB port under here. You remove this little rubber cover, you can plug in a USB charging cable for a smartphone or tablet or other USB device. So anyways, yeah, some nice features on that display there. And then over here on the right side is your rear hydraulic disc brake lever, and this is the New Vinci grip shifter here. So as I mentioned before, this is a continuously variable drivetrain, so it's sort of like a volume dial. You can really just dial in exactly where you want to be on the gear range. And there's a little display here that shows, you're climbing a hill here at the very this end of the range, and then as you go to the other end of the range, it flattens out to riding on more flat terrain. So here's a look at the super wide Schwalbe Supermoto X tires. These are a balloon style tire. They have a really efficient road tread with some channeling to dissipate water. They also have a bit of grip for some light off-road as well. And what's really cool about these tires is they have so much air volume that when you run them at the lower pressures, Schwalbe recommends between 20 and 45 psi, you get quite a bit of suspension effect because they're able to absorb a lot of the bumps and cracks in the road, and just the large air volume allows them to absorb a lot of the impacts and such. Also, with the larger tire, you get a larger tread patch on the ground, and that really provides a nice stable feel. So here's a look at the Selle Royale saddle. Has a nice mid-width profile in the back and pretty narrow in the front, and really fits the style of this commuter and adventure touring bike really well. EVELO also offers their perfect saddle guarantee, and you can find out more about the details on that at their website, but basically they'll help you find the perfect saddle for your riding needs, and they have a guarantee for that. So this is the Cree LED headlight, and this has an aluminum housing and bracket as well, so nice solid construction and a good beam for seeing well at night, but also for being seen day or night by others. This runs off the main e-bike battery pack, so you don't have to worry about having this battery charged separately. The Delta X also comes with these full coverage plastic fenders that have additional mud flaps both on the front and the back of the bike, and you can see they have full coverage protection for riding in wet conditions. So here's a look at the rear cargo rack, and this can handle up to 18 kilograms or 40 pounds of load. You can strap things to the top of the rack, as well as it can be set up with baskets, bags, or panniers. So pretty versatile rear rack. Also in the back here is the rear taillight that has flashing and solid mode, and it runs off of its own batteries. And last but not least is the kickstand. This is a side mount kickstand that's bolted right to the frame there for a nice solid attachment point, and the height can be adjusted so that you can adjust the lean of the bicycle when it's using the kickstand. Alright, so that is the video overview of the EVELO Delta X. You can check out the full review at electricbikereport.com, and that includes a bunch of detailed pictures, specifications, ride characteristics, range test results, pros, cons, and overall thoughts, all at electricbikereport.com.